Hello, my loves. Welcome back to another soul-guided reading for Taurus. I'm Selena, and today we're entering a tender space, one where the stars aren't shouting, but whispering, and every shimmer of the moon feels like a soft hand resting gently over your heart. As the crescent moon grows fuller in the nurturing sign of Cancer, your spirit may find itself drifting inward toward the waters of memory and longing. This is a lunar current that doesn't rush you, it remembers you. It calls you back, not to dwell in the past, but to honor the parts of yourself you once tucked away for safekeeping. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to gently unwrap them. You are not fragile, Taurus. But today, even your strength is asking for rest. Even your patience is whispering for warmth. There's a quiet yearning within you now for a space that feels safe, for a presence that doesn't demand explanation, for a home that isn't built from bricks and walls, but from feeling seen and allowed to soften. And this, my love, is your becoming. Not through the noise of productivity or grand gestures, but in the way you let your own heart exhale. You're learning not just how to hold others, but how to hold yourself, tenderly, honestly, without apology. So stay with me as we move deeper into today's energies. We'll explore your path in love, your relationship with money, your body's quiet needs, the truths rising in your work, and the echoes of home that may be calling you back. This isn't just a reading, it's a return. Let's begin. When we turn toward your finances today, Taurus, the skies don't point to dramatic shifts or sudden breakthroughs, but rather to something subtler, quieter, and more persistent. The soft hum of worry beneath the surface. It's not loud, and it may not even have a name, but it lingers in the background of your thoughts, especially when you begin to wonder about the long road ahead. Stability has always mattered to you, not just for comfort, but for the sense of control it offers. But under this Cancer moon, emotional undercurrents might blur your usual clarity. You may find yourself tempted to spend just to feel a little more secure, a little less restless, a little more in control of something. Perhaps you'll scroll a little longer through the things you don't really need, or you'll add to cart not because it brings you joy, but because it fills a quiet ache. This isn't a failure, it's a moment to pause and ask yourself with honesty, what am I really reaching for here? Is it safety? Is it escape? Is it proof that you're still in control of your world? The universe isn't judging your choices, but it is offering you a mirror. True steadiness, the kind you crave, won't come from external numbers or temporary comforts. It comes from the belief that even if everything falls apart, you won't, that you have rebuilt before, and you will again, and that the wisdom you carry now is far more valuable than anything money could ever offer. So take a breath before you act. Return to yourself. You don't have to spend to feel worthy, and you don't have to fix what isn't broken. Some days, holding still is the bravest kind of progress. Your mind today, Taurus, may not be fully anchored in the tasks laid out in front of you. It's not that you lack the ability, your natural reliability and endurance are still there, but the emotional weight you're carrying from other parts of your life might be tugging at your focus. You might find yourself sitting in front of something that normally wouldn't take long to complete, but instead of moving forward with your usual calm determination, your thoughts drift. You remember something someone said last night. You think about the feeling in your chest this morning when you woke up. You replay quiet worries that don't have anything to do with deadlines or spreadsheets, but still manage to take up space in your head. This mental scattering isn't a sign of weakness, but it is a signal to slow down. Instead of trying to push through or pretending you're fine when you're clearly spread thin, consider taking the pressure off. Do the small tasks first, the kind that don't require deep concentration or high stakes. Let your mind settle in slowly, like sediment falling to the bottom of a still lake. If there are big decisions to be made or important conversations to have, today may not be the right moment. The chance of being misunderstood or missing a key detail is higher than usual, not because you're careless, but because your attention is divided between the outer world and your inner one. And if you're in a situation that demands communication, remember that clarity comes from intention, not speed. Don't rush, don't force. Speak with patience, and if you sense that the energy isn't right, it's okay to ask for more time. You don't need to prove your competence through constant action. Today, progress may look like choosing what not to do. Let your intuition guide the pace. The work will wait, but your peace of mind cannot. If you're in a relationship, today may feel emotionally heavier than usual, not because anything dramatic is happening, but because something subtle is shifting inside you. You might find yourself needing more closeness, more reassurance, more moments where you feel truly seen by the person you're with. Even if they haven't done anything wrong, you may still feel a quiet ache, like there's a part of you they've missed, a part that's been sitting in silence for too long. That silence might start pressing forward now, turning into irritability or withdrawal, or maybe it becomes a sharpness in your tone when they say something small and meaningless. But it's not really about that one thing they said, it's about all the little times you didn't speak up for what you needed. This isn't a call for blame. It's a moment to name the truth. To speak it not as a defense, not as a demand, but as something soft, something real. The person you're with can't read your mind, and they don't know the depth of what you're feeling unless you offer it to them. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. You just need to put the walls down long enough to let your truth through. That's what the moon is asking of you now, not to be right, but to be honest. Not to protect your heart with distance, but to trust that closeness can hold both your joy and your fear. If you're single, today might stir memories of someone who once held your heart. You might think of them for no clear reason, or they might appear in a message, a dream, a song that pulls you back. And part of you might wonder if it means something, if the door should open again, if there's still something unfinished between you. But before you move toward anyone else, the deeper invitation is to return to yourself. Ask yourself gently if the feelings are truly about that person, or if they're about the part of you that still longs to feel chosen, understood, or not alone. Sometimes, what resurfaces is not the person themselves, but the part of your story that still needs closure. And it's okay if you're not ready yet. Love is not something to grab at in order to feel full. It's something that finds you when you've stopped trying to fill the silence with noise. You don't have to rush. There's no shame in taking the time to grieve what was, or to admit that you're still healing. Love will come, but it deserves to meet you where you're whole, not where you're still trying to patch yourself together. Let this moment be about honesty, not urgency. Let it be about presence, not pursuit. You're not late. You're right where you need to be. Your body today may feel like it's carrying more than it can explain. Not because you're physically unwell in any obvious way, but because the emotional load you've been holding, sometimes quietly, sometimes without even noticing, is starting to make itself known in small physical ways. You might wake up feeling slower than usual, like getting out of bed takes more effort than normal. Maybe your limbs feel heavy, your eyes a little more tired, or your appetite less predictable. There's a kind of fatigue that doesn't come from lack of sleep, it comes from all the things you've been holding in. This kind of tiredness shows up when you've been trying to stay composed, when you've been thinking too much and speaking too little, when you've been trying to manage everyone else's energy while quietly pushing your own needs aside. For some of you, that tension might sit in your chest or your stomach, making it harder to digest not just food, but emotions. You may notice your digestion is off, or that your body feels unsettled even after you eat. This is not random. It's the way the body signals that something inside you needs release, needs acknowledgement, needs gentleness. What your body is asking for now is not discipline or control. It's asking for care. Not the kind that comes with routines or goals, but the kind that says, it's okay to do less today. Drink something warm, not because it's on a checklist, but because it brings your system ease. Eat foods that are gentle on your stomach, not because they're trendy or clean, but because your body deserves softness right now. Go outside, even for a few minutes, and let your eyes meet something real. A tree, the sky, the earth beneath you. If you can't get outside, just sit still with your breath. Let the noise settle. Let your shoulders drop. You don't have to fix how you feel. You just have to stop pretending you don't feel it. That's where healing begins, not in pushing through, but in making room for what's already there. Let your body guide you, even if that means doing nothing at all. Rest isn't a reward, it's a right. And today, you're allowed to claim it. This is the area of your life where the influence of the Cancer moon becomes the most personal, the most intimate your family. Whether you're physically near them or simply carrying their presence in your heart, the emotional tie between you and your loved ones feels stronger today. Even a small interaction, a message from a sibling, a brief call with a parent, or a memory stirred by a familiar scent can open the door to something much deeper beneath the surface. You might not be expecting it, but a simple exchange could bring up feelings you thought you had already worked through. There's nothing unusual about that. The past has its own rhythm, and it doesn't always ask permission before knocking. Maybe it's warmth, maybe it's grief, maybe it's a mix of both. You might find yourself thinking about the things you never said, or the things you said but never really meant. You might feel a sudden softness towards someone you've held at a distance, or a resurfacing of hurt you've been carrying for years without naming. There's a kind of vulnerability that comes with family, the way even small moments can hold the weight of decades. It's not always easy to face, but ignoring it doesn't make it disappear. It only buries it deeper. Today, you're being asked not to turn away, to let those feelings rise not because they're comfortable, but because they're real, and what's real is what can finally be released. You don't have to fix the whole story. You don't have to mend every broken thread. But you can start by telling yourself the truth about how something made you feel. That honesty doesn't trap you, it frees you. Healing within family doesn't always come through reunion or apology. Sometimes it comes when you sit alone and finally say, "That hurt me." And I'm allowed to say so. The moon isn't trying to bring up pain just to shake you. It's bringing you closer to the freedom that comes from no longer needing to hide it. Whatever surfaces today, let it come. Not because you owe your past anything, but because you deserve peace. This ritual is meant to be practiced in the evening, ideally after sunset, on the 7th of July, 2025, when the waxing crescent moon rises in Cancer, stirring the waters of memory, home, and emotional vulnerability. It's not a ritual for doing, but for being. For Taurus, a sign that often finds security through control and rhythm, this moment is about allowing softness without guilt and stillness without explanation. You don't need a complex setup. Just a quiet corner, perhaps your bedroom, a small table by the window, or a balcony that catches the moonlight. Light one candle, preferably white or a soft jade green, something that reminds you of warmth and stillness. Place a glass of clean water nearby. And if you have an object that symbolizes home for you, be it a photograph, a stone, a childhood trinket, or even a note from someone you once trusted, bring that into your space. Begin by lighting the candle slowly. Don't rush it. Let the flame take its time. Watch it flicker. As the light settles, let your shoulders drop. Whisper quietly, either aloud or in your heart. This light is where I return. I allow myself to feel safe. I allow myself to stop. You are not calling an action, you are inviting rest. This is not about fixing, doing, or striving. It is about allowing. Place one hand gently over your heart. Let your eyes close. Begin to breathe, deeply in and slowly out. Do this 5 times, without changing the rhythm, just witnessing the rise and fall of your chest. Imagine the moon breathing with you, gentle, patient, never rushing you to move faster than your heart is ready for. Now, hold the object that represents home. Let it bring to mind a moment from the past that feels unresolved, not to dwell in it, but to witness it. Maybe it's a memory from childhood, a moment when you felt left out, unseen, or overwhelmed. Or maybe it's something more recent, a conversation with a parent, a misunderstanding that still echoes, a silence that still stings. Let whatever wants to surface come to the front. No need to explain or justify. Just feel it. Whisper to yourself, "I see you. I know that hurt. I'm learning to care for the part of me that still feels that pain." When you're ready, take the glass of water in both hands. Look into it as if it holds the calm of the moon itself. Say softly, "I am worthy of healing. I no longer need to hold everything in." Then drink the water slowly, letting it cleanse not just your body, but the tension you've been quietly carrying inside. Let the water feel like release. Let it be enough. Finally, before you blow out the candle, place your hand on your heart one more time. Whisper this final truth, not as a wish, but as a quiet commitment to yourself. I am learning to be gentle with myself, and that is the path I choose to keep walking. Once in, and as we come to the end of this sacred space we've held together, Taurus, I want to remind you of something simple but true. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to feel deeply. You are allowed to need rest without needing permission. The moon in Cancer didn't come to challenge your strength. It came to remind you that softness is a strength too. Whatever surfaced for you today, whether it was a memory, a quiet ache, or a long-held truth, you don't have to carry it alone anymore. You've already done the hardest part by facing it, and now, step by step, breath by breath, you're walking yourself back home. So take this energy with you gently. Let it move through you, not as pressure, but as permission, to care, to pause, to trust the quiet shifts happening beneath the surface. If this message found you at the right moment, know it wasn't an accident. And if your heart whispered yes to even just one line, that is more than enough. Until next time, my loves, take care of your body, listen to your soul, and let the moon show you how to be both steady and soft, all at once. You are becoming. And you're doing it beautifully.